Good evening, everyone. Well, it's 7:40 on Wednesday night, and as they say in the classics, when the cat is away, the mice will play. So, I'm home alone. And what do you do when you're home alone? You make Facebook videos, because no one in the house can say, "Oh, you're a muppet, what are you doing?" Anyway, so I want to show you what I made for dinner tonight. And make sure you tune in. Even you, Tim, in the UK, make sure you stay watching, all right? Hey, Mel, how are you? All right, so have a look at what we've made. Who can tell me what is in that? So, lettuce on the bottom, some slices of zucchini grilled, some sweet potato. This is beautiful broccoli, rockin' broccoli kraut from Lewis & Sons. We'll talk more about that later. Some hamburgulars made with grass-fed beef from Cleavers and a little bit of zucchini grated into them, all with some bacon and a beautiful egg on top. So, if you're in Australia and you want to improve your gut health, you can go to Lewis & Son. They are this company here, really good company. I met the owner the other day. If you go to Lewis & Son's website and you want to get your gut health started, you can order some sauerkraut from them, and when you order a sauerkraut, you can order a free bone broth, which is another great thing to have when you are trying to improve your health. Now, the other thing is water. Now, I'm drinking water here. Now, let me show you where it comes from. Don't go away. Just hang on. It comes out of one of these. It's Aqualive, beautiful water. It's the only water I drink, and it has won the global award for the best mineral water in the world, both in sparkling and non-sparkling. I'm going to let my food go cold because it's worth waiting. So in fact, Olaf, who's just tuned in and watching, he's the founder, him and his wife are the founder of the company. And I'm sure he'd be happy to give you a special deal, putting him on the spot now. This wasn't set up to get your amazing water. I've got clients all around Australia that drink this water. In fact, last week, a client came over and he took some collagen from us, and we're doing some weight loss with him, and he tasted the water. He said, "Wow, that's great." And he bought 5 casks of it straight away from the team at Aqualive, and he loves it. It's just such a good water. But anyway, we're not here to talk about water, and we're here to talk about real healthy food. So when the cats are away, the mice will play. And I just put together this dinner for myself. I had half a kilo of grass-fed beef from Cleavers. I got half a carrot, half a zucchini, grade them up, mix them into little hamburger patties, and I'll post some photos later. We've got some others over there. And I put them in a pan with some coconut oil. Never use polyunsaturated oil because it's toxic. In another pan, I sliced up some sweet potato, and I'm not trying to lose weight, so eating sweet potato is okay for me. I got them in coconut oil as well. Then those beautiful little zucchini things. Cook some bacon, 1 egg, put some lettuce on the plate, put some of this kraut on the plate. Now, the discount code for Lewis & Sons, it's once only per customer. Now, if you've got 2 different email addresses, you could order twice. Obradovic, O-B-R-A-D-O-V-I-C, and you get a free bone broth when you order your sauerkraut. Let me know how it works. Now, if anyone has any questions about how to change your health or how to get abs, because we know where abs start, they all start in the kitchen, feel free to ask me your questions on the chat. And I'll do my best to answer them. If you're viewing this little video from wherever you are in the world. So if you've got any questions, feel free. I will come back onto the chat later on after I finish cleaning the kitchen, because I've made a big mess, to answer any questions anyone has. So remember, If you're struggling to lose weight, or you just feel generally shithouse every day with ups and downs of energy, that's probably because you're eating wrong. I guarantee you it's probably not because you're not exercising enough, even though most people that work in a gym will tell you you need to exercise more. And I work in several gyms, and that's the last thing I'm going to say. The first thing I'm going to say is you should eat properly. So if you're eating low-fat yogurt and oats and fruit juice for breakfast, and then at 10 o'clock in the morning you're starving, what's happening is your blood sugar's coming up, insulin's coming in from your pancreas to take that sugar that you've eaten down. Oh, look at that, guns. Yeah, okay. Bring that sugar down, and then at 10 o'clock you're starving. So what happens? Your body goes into a stress state. You get the munchies, you get the hangry business. Hey, Len, how are you? And then you need to eat again. And that's all because you're eating too much sugar. So low-fat food, lots of carbohydrates, processed foods is just atrocious. And what you want to be doing is changing how you eat to think more about healthy fats, protein, not too much protein, because excess protein turns into glucose. G'day Barry, how are you? And just simply change the way you eat. And that way you can moderate your blood sugar. You can flatten out those ups and downs that most people get during the day. You'll eat less. You'll be lighter. You'll be healthier. All your bloods will change. You'll sleep better. And you'll probably have a better shit in the morning because you're eating properly. So the other thing is, if you're constipated or you have bad bowel movements while I'm eating, you've got to ask yourself, is that flipping normal? Because I can tell you, it is not normal. It is not normal not to have a good poo every day. Hey Kerry, how are you? There is something wrong. So ask yourself the question, is the food you're eating helping you have abs, be strong, have a good shit every day, and be healthy? Or is the food you're eating have you in this up and down merry-go-round roller coaster all day, like everyone else where you work in their office, because they're all doing it, and we normalise this atrocious eating and this atrocious way of thinking that this is how our health has to be. It's total bullshit. You know, we're only alive once. It's my 53rd birthday on Saturday, right? 53. Half my life's gone. So think about it yourself. You've got a chance to change your health by not following what I call conventional stupidity. You've got to change the way you think. Stop reading those stupid running magazines that tell you you need to carb up on pasta and rice. Stop listening to those Muppet personal trainers, and I am one, not a Muppet. Well, you might call me one, but I don't really care because I've got abs, right? Stop listening to those personal trainers that say, oh, you're lazy and you need to train harder. Ask yourself the question, what am I eating? What am I fueling with? If you're having protein shakes with all this fruit, all that fruit is just sugar. And 2 hours later you're starving. Just forget it. Eat bacon, eat avocado, eat meat, eat vegetables for breakfast. Have this sort of meal like I'm having here for breakfast or at 10 o'clock in the morning. You'll only need to eat twice a day. And if you want to improve your gut health, which makes you shit better, fermented vegetables and bone broth. And as I say, fermented vegetables and bone broth are just one of the things that help you have really good poos. And Mars knows, Mars is watching, we always talk about this at the gym together. If you can have a really good shit every day, that means you're digesting your food properly. Now, if you like milk and you have cappuccinos and you're overweight, you're constipated or you've got diarrhea, what I want you to do is just stop having milk. And yeah, I know you'll say, oh, but I love my cappuccino. But nearly every single client I work with that stops having the stupid cappuccinos loses weight, their skin looks amazing, they feel fantastic, and they start having a great crap every single day instead of being constipated or being the opposite, which is even worse. The other thing, bread. So bread is just processed crap. So the other sort of person you don't want to listen to is a dietitian especially a female dietitian who is skinny as a rake, who's 30 years younger than you, that tells you to eat oats and orange juice and fruit and yogurt for breakfast. Like, if you're 53 or 54 or 60 and this skinny 20-year-old's telling you to eat like her, and you do and it doesn't work, what the fuck are you doing? Like, seriously, do you really think that's going to work? Come and work with me. I'm 53 this week. I was fat, now I'm lean. I didn't change that by exercising more at the gym. I changed that by stopped paying a nutritionist $200 an hour to keep me fat. I was writing down everything I ate. I was tracking all my exercise. And I was nearly 80 kilos. I was a real chubby boy. I was running 70 kilometres a week thinking that all that exercise would get me lean, and it never did. I got down to about 74 once, maybe for 2 hours after a marathon. I've been 64 to 65 kilos now for 4 years, and it's all because I changed the way I thought and forgot about this bullshit, stupid, conventional stupidity that all the running magazines and all these Muppet dietitians tell us is how we're supposed to eat. Oh yeah, we're going to have a heart attack because we eat too many eggs or too many avocados, and our high cholesterol is going to kill us. What a load of shit. It's sugar. Sugar is the poison. Stress is the poison. Alcohol is the poison. And while I'm at it, dairy isn't that good for you either. Okay, so rethink how you want to live your life. Rethink what you think is normal. I can tell you now, being sick is not normal. Ashley, welcome to the video. Go back and watch from the start when we finish, because I've said a lot of stuff in the last couple of minutes, and I've explained how you can get bone broth and fermented vegetables using my discount code, and you can get the free bone broth, which helps you have amazing poos every day, which is really important to help. So change the way you think. Don't think being sick is normal. I've got heaps of diabetics I've worked with that have gone against the advice of their dietitians who are diabetes educators. They've gone against their wishes. And what? They've halved their medication, they've lost all this weight, and they say they feel amazing. I'm not a doctor, I'm just following common sense, not conventional stupidity. The reason the dietitians and the nutrition guidelines don't tell us to eat low carb is because there would be a massive class action from everyone in Australia who is sick, who is chronically ill. Diabetics, people who have major health issues, would do a class action against the government and Dietitians Association Australia and the whole government that sets up the food regulations and the dietary guidelines, because for 40 years they've been telling us to eat low fat and eat high or moderate carbohydrates. And those of us that actually know and have made the change ourselves, just look at what Tim Noakes has done. Tim Noakes in South Africa, one of the world's preeminent exercise physiologists and scientists. His father died of diabetes. He was like me. He was running and running and running, eating all these carbs. He wrote the world's Bible on the law of running. He got fat and he couldn't work it out. Then he realized that he was giving people the wrong advice and it was making them sick. So he ripped a chapter out of his book. The whole chapter on to run a marathon, you have to carb load. He ripped that chapter out of his book. And he's now just got off trial. They've retrialed him for giving bad nutritional advice over Twitter. And the Dietitians Association in South Africa and the Health Professionals Council of South Africa wanted to close him down, because if he was shown to be right, their whole industry that was provided funding by all of those processed food companies would be in total disarray. Well, he fought and he got off the charges. So in Australia, there is no way that the Dietitians Association of Australia or Diabetes Australia or any of those organisations, hi Monica, how are you, are going to come out and say, yes, we were wrong. We're so sorry for making you have diabetes. We're so sorry for having you have to go to hospital and have a limb cut off because we told you that when you were a diabetic in our hospital, You could have wheat bix and sugar and orange juice. Just look at what's happened to Gary Fetke as well. An orthopedic surgeon who's trying to help his clients, telling his patients they should not eat in a certain way that the hospital wants him to do, that the hospital wants those patients to do, because it's making them sicker. And then he gets put almost in a trial and banned from giving dietary advice when he's actually helping people. So they can't do anything to me because I'll just tell them to do this. So there's lots of people talking about eating properly and changing the way you think. So if you're overweight and you're eating the conventional way or killing yourself in the gym in the conventional way and it's not working for you, go to my YouTube page. AndreObradovic.com is my website. Visit my YouTube page. There's heaps of free advice, heaps of free videos, cooking videos, exercise videos about low heart rate training, about, mindset. You can access all of that for free. Then, if you want extra help, we can have a call and talk about what you need. You can apply to have one-on-one coaching from me. There's an application process on loseyourbelly.com.au. You don't talk to me first, you apply, you fill out a form, and then if I think I can help you, we'll have a chat. I don't work with smokers, and if you can't go off alcohol for a month, like if you can't make that simple change, then you'd have to have a very serious discussion with me, because that's what I'm going to ask you to do. Not forever, but just for the first month of working together, because alcohol is a toxin. It's bad for the liver, bad for the whole body, and if you're trying to lose weight, that's the first thing you've got to get off. Then the bread, then the milk, then the cereals, then the processed foods. And what you need to eat is beautiful food like this. I think you can see that, hopefully. Vegetables, meat, bone broth, fermented vegetables, and then that's what you get, abs, and you get healthy. So, to everyone that's watching, thanks for tuning in. Please share the video. If you've got any questions, ask away. And I will do my best to respond. So, Andre Obradovic here, as you know, Andre Running Obradovic on Facebook, loseyourbelly.com.au on the web, or andreobradovic.com. If you've got any questions about food or what you should or shouldn't be eating, ask them here, I will respond. Mars, nice to see you. Matt, nice to see you. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to eat my cold dinner. And remember, if you want a free bone broth, go to Lewis & Sons. Order your sauerkraut, which you do have to pay for, but you'll get a free bone broth, which is good for gut. And what else is it for? Good shits. The discount code is OBRADOVIC, OBRADOVIC. Have a great night, guys. See ya. How do I turn this off? Finish.